hope you're really well. I'm Eva Eik. And today I thought we could talk about my one-to-one mentorship, which is a 4-month transformational container where you work with me one-to-one in one-to-one sessions. There are 12 sessions in total over the course of 4 months. And in these sessions, what do? We do a mix of modalities, really. One of the main modalities is light codes, so language, light language, that I use to help clear ancestral trauma, inner child, pain, and also help anchor in love, peace, the frequencies of abundance. And we also clear old vows, contracts, and agreements. A lot of people have vows of poverty or vows of silence and other vows that might be keeping them from living the life of their dreams. So that is something I also help people with in my one-to-one mentorship. And also just clearing old energies, sadness, sorrow, grief. A lot of times we hold on to unprocessed emotions in our body, and working with sounds such as light language or soul language, light codes, can really help release that, and also movement. I also do some breath work in my sessions, in the mentorship, and also EFT is another modality I use. Not everyone likes or vibes with doing EFT, so that's optional. But one of the main things I do is the light code activations, the light language, which really helps rewire the structure. And whatever we believe about ourselves, believe about reality, is what we're functioning from. So I help people rewire their beliefs. And when we change our beliefs and we release those old energies, old vows, contracts, agreements, those ways of functioning that do not serve our highest good, then that opens up a whole new world of possibilities for what we can create, because we're always creating our reality. But this mentorship is only for people who are really serious about aligning to their highest timeline and that want to do that inner work, because sometimes it is super fun, because another thing I do in my mentorship is I help people connect with the fairies and the elves and the angels and the unicorns and the fairies. I already said fairies, huh? And the dragons and the angels. But sometimes, doing the inner work, doing the clearings, when you're clearing those heavy energies, it can feel a bit intense. But that's where working with a facilitator can be really helpful. So I really hold space for that release in the sessions, and also I have WhatsApp support in between the sessions, Monday to Thursday. So in case anything comes up, or you don't want any support, there I am to help and to guide. And how I work mainly is through channeling. So I channel my higher self, and I also work mediumistically with guides, with angels, with the fairies, the dragons. I do energy work. I work with Archangel Zadkiel a lot, and Saint Germain, the Violet Flame, and Archangel Michael, and that blue flame. I love that so much. It's so amazing at transmuting. But yeah, so basically one-to-one sessions with me are very powerful. I do alchemy with sound alchemy. And also it's through the codes of what I'm saying sometimes that things change as well. And it's not only me, it's me, and it's the guides and the angels, and the fairies and star family. Let's not forget about star family, galactic guides, our aligned to Christ consciousness and the highest good. Well, that's another thing. I only work with beings that are aligned to Christ consciousness and the highest good of all. So that's my one-to-one sessions. I also teach about magic, how to work with crystals, spell work, how to use sound yourself, psychic protection, shielding, cloaking, all that stuff, gridding. So yeah, it's a really comprehensive mentorship, and it's over 4 months. And in 4 months, a lot can shift and move. But the whole premise of my mentorship is that I only do what is for the highest good, and I only help people aligned to you. Of course, people choose themselves, but what I hold space for is for that what's their highest good, aligning to their highest timeline, you know? So that's really important to mention, that that's the kind of magic I do is for the highest good of all, and that's based in unconditional love. We're all one. So yes, working with crystals, doing magic, working with angelic realm, and the fairies, and the dragons, and unicorns. And also there's a workbook as well in my mentorship that I recommend people do in my mentorship, because sometimes when we're journaling, a lot of things that can come up that we didn't really have full awareness over. When we're asking ourselves questions, that can be a really powerful way to get more awareness around things. So another really big component in my mentorship is self-love. So aligning to self-love and having healthy boundaries is something I really teach a lot about in my mentorship, because a lot of the people I work with are empaths, are really sensitive, and that can make it a little bit tricky sometimes with the boundaries, and putting other people first always, and so on. So that's also something I teach about and that I help people align to is another thing I help people align to is self-love and self-respect. Because when we are giving from a full cup, it becomes a lot more sustainable than if we have to, you know, give, and then there's nothing in our cup, and then we burn out or something like that. Of course, no judgment around that. I totally understand. It's something I've been through myself. I used to have this tendency to overgive, and sometimes I wouldn't be so high up on my priority list because that's the program in society. But anyways, that is something else I do in my mentorship, is that I help people align to self-love, self-respect, going after their dreams, align to abundance. What is abundance for you? Because everyone's ideal life, dream life, looks kind of different, you know? There are some programs in society that this is what my happiest, wealthiest life looks like. And yeah, for some people that might be exactly what it looks like. For other people, it might be slightly different. And that is something I also help people do, is align to that version of themselves that is living their dream life, because we can quantum leap. So yeah, that's something I teach about. I teach about manifestation as well. Manifestation and emotions and law of attraction, law of assumption, how these things work together. And I channel a lot about that, a lot of information about that from my higher self, because my higher self has obviously a very high perspective on how things work, how reality works, and so on. And yes, I also create 3 meditations that are customized per client, per mentorship round. So if someone, you know, resigns, they get 3 new meditations. So, but yeah, first there are 3 meditations I make that you can ask me specifically what you want the meditations to be about, or you can go with the flow more, or you can ask me, is there anything you recommend, and then we can work together in crafting it, or you can just tell me exactly what you want, and then I'll do that. So yeah, like for example, if someone wants to align to the frequency of abundance and it looks a specific way, I can make a meditation that does that. Or someone wants to align to their inner power, I can do that. Working with the unicorns in a specific way, or the dragons, or whatever it is, you know. Then yeah, I create 3 custom meditations per client that have light codes, light language, soul language in them. Sound healing. We make them really powerful and potent, because every time you hear the light codes, it might have a slightly different, it might work slightly different in your field and go deeper and deeper each time. to help you shift. So yeah, that's another reason why it's actually 4 months long, is that within those 4 months, a lot can happen. A lot can happen. And yeah, so that's the thing with working with me, is that it's a transformational container, is what really this thing is that I call my mentorship. So the whole thing is channeled. So what I'm being guided to kind of brand it as is activate your divine power mentorship, because that's really what it's about. It's about taking back our power as divine creator beings here on earth, creating our life. Yeah. And also help people connect more with guides and the angels and fairies and star family, your guardian angel, and I would say everyone I've talked to that has done my mentorship, or at least most that I can remember right now, have said that they have experienced more synchronicities, or at least a lot of synchronicities, which is really cool. And a lot of people I do the mentorship with, you know, they often start channeling light codes or light language, but it's not everyone, because not everyone has that as their intention, or that's not something that interests everyone. But that is something I can also help do, is to help activate more psychic abilities. But it's important to remember that with psychic abilities, it's important to remember that as above, so below, you know, because just like blasting open the third eye but not being grounded at all, that's not very balanced in my opinion, and what I've seen with people. It can be really helpful to be really rooted, really anchored, have all your chakras balanced, you know, and to not have lots of distortion around channeling. And it's important to have, you know, set intentions about what you want to let in and so on. But anyways, that's another video. So yeah, let me know if you want me to make a video about intention setting and channeling and so on. But yeah, in the mentorship, that is something I teach about. And there's also access to a video vault where I have loads of videos and some meditations, and also some prayer intention setting scripts, you can say, with the guides and angels in regards to cloaking and shielding and clearing and so on. Loads of videos about manifestation and magic and psychic protection, and some EFT tap along videos there. And yeah, like I said, there's also the WhatsApp support in between the sessions, where I might send a link to, or I might recommend a book or another video or something, or a crystal, you know, depending on what I'm asked, really, because the WhatsApp support really depends on the client, or it would depend on you if we work together. It was you would be messaging me mainly, you know, and then I'd reply, unless you want me to check in. But anyways, that's only if I'm working with people one-to-one through the mentorship. And how to even work with me one-to-one through the mentorship. Basically, before I decide whether or not to work with a new client, because for me it's really important that it is aligned for me and for the person. You know, our lives are short here on earth, they go like that. So it's important for me that I only do what feels right and what feels aligned. And it's not always the right time to work with someone. It's important for me that the people I work with are really dedicated and committed, and they do their homework, basically, you know. And yeah, because then you really get that change, that alignment. You know, I don't know if you've ever done instrumental lessons like I did when I was a kid. And I remember I was learning piano, and then I go with the teacher and I haven't practiced, and then I just like learn the same thing again, you know, and it was frustrating. Obviously it's not exactly like that with me, because even if people don't do the homework or the meditations that I suggest, every session with me is really powerful, because I bring through the codes, and that's really most of the mentorship. Like, it comes from the one-to-one sessions with me, where I bring through the frequencies, and I hold that space in the sessions. So I have had people, clients who didn't do so much the meditation so on, and they still had really, really big changes. But yeah, anyways, I only work with a few people at a time because it is very intensive, with the WhatsApp support and with the sessions and so on. So yeah, if this is something you are interested in, then DM me on Instagram. The energy exchange / price for this 4-month transformational container mentorship is 4,444 or 4444 British pounds. Also, I have payment plans down to 888 pounds per month, but that's for 6 months. But yeah, why don't you, if you want to, feel into if that resonates, if you want to. And if it does resonate, if you are interested in finding out more, if you'd like to talk to me about it, and then we can see if we're a match or not, then you can message me on Instagram with the word mentorship, and then I'll get back to you, and then we can set up a clarity call, and I can send you some more information if you like. And yeah, I hope you're having a really nice day, a really nice, well, it's the beginning of the week right now. It's Monday, but I hope you're having a nice week. In these tumultuous times, there's so much clearing going on right now and activations. So it's a really interesting time, a really powerful time to meditate and set intentions and peel off old conditioning. So yeah, my mentorship is a great place to do just that. If it feels aligned, of course. So yeah, message me on Instagram with the word mentorship, and then we can talk. And yeah, looking forward to hear from you if that feels aligned. And I wish you a beautiful, magical, wonderful, glorious rest of the day. Lots of love.